So there I was, watching Dogman. I knew! I couldn't believe it either. I was like, how did this happen to me? Although, they put us in the Dolby Theater. I was like, ooh, fancy Dogman. And so that was an added treat. And I have to say, the movie looked good up there. You weren't like, oh, this is a waste of a premium screen. Because the movie's very colorful and very vibrant. And so I was like, I appreciate this extra effort. But also, while I was watching the movie, I was like, what a weird movie. It's such a bizarre film. However, at this press screening, they allowed families to attend. And so there were a number of children at the screening. And so that can go either way. Either they can be into the movie or they can be super disruptive. But they were into this movie. They were really into this movie. They were talking before the movie, how excited they were to see it. They were quiet during the movie. But then afterwards, it's not like they fell asleep. They were watching the movie. And afterwards, I heard them asking their parents and talking to each other about how good the film was. So I was like, think. What's the magic here? And I thought about it, and I realized that the key to the movie is Lil Petey. Lil Petey! Because in this crazy, weird world, and it sure is crazy and weird, Lil Petey has agency. And he's important to the adults around him. That's really actually beautiful. In fact, I would say the Lil Petey is the center of the Dogman movie. And that is a wonderful feeling for a child. Usually, especially in Hollywood, children are portrayed as, either totally by themselves, running amok, or they're on the outskirts of, the adult periphery. Like, adults can't wait to get those kids to sleep so they can have their own evening. But here, it was all about Lil Petey. And he was just so important to everyone in his life. And I thought that was really beautiful. And as I said, the kids at my screening were very engaged with this movie. They were into it because it takes them seriously. And also, it's super weird. Kids love weird. We all know that from our own experiences. The weirder, the more engaging. You're like, it's so weird, I cannot look away. I can't believe I'm allowed to watch this or interact with it. This wasn't that weird, but it was pretty freaking weird. Here, I have a question, Dogman fans. Why can Petey, the world's most evilest cat, I'm kind of into it as you can see, interact with humans on their level as is, but Greg the dog, whose tennis ball, by the way, is also named Greg, but I think that's the case. But why can Greg the dog only interact with humans on their level if he has a human body? I didn't get that. What's more, Dogman still acts like a dog. He still can't speak. He's basically just still a dog. I saw no real benefit to him having a human body. I mean, I guess he could now stand upright and had opposable thumbs. But Petey the cat already had that, as is. And Petey could also talk the whole time. So I didn't understand the discrepancy. I mean, maybe some people are like, it's a cat-dog thing. And maybe it is. But, the fact that everyone in the movie can talk but Dogman, well, that's why after the first act, it really became Petey and Lil Petey's movie. I wasn't complaining. I really like Petey and Lil Petey. I like them a lot. So like a cat to steal a dog's movie. But did they steal it? Or are they sharing? While I was watching the movie, something else that came to mind was all those cute little videos you see on social media of dogs and cats living together as friends without an apocalypse in sight. So I thought that was really cute and charming. Dogman is rated PG, parental guidance, for some action and rude humor. But I think that rating is also a good idea because, and I don't know if they didn't say adult concepts, but they might as well have, because the movie has some surprisingly complex adult life lessons that it addresses. I mean, it's great that it doesn't talk down to its younger viewers, but at the same time, it surprisingly gives older viewers something to think about as well. You're like, wow, wouldn't expect to have these conversations watching a family kids movie, but here we are. So I think one of the things I like most about the film was the message that it's best to have a dog's view of life, positive, rather than a cat's view of life, negative. And that it's a choice. You can choose how you see the world. No matter what, you can decide what your attitude is going to be. And I thought that was a great message. Also, while the movie is very child-centric, a surprising side effect of that is that it has some very interesting and deep commentary on being a parent, particularly a young single dad. Now, we all know that parents are an endangered species when it comes to animation. Usually just the mom makes it, and who knows for how long. Or the dad, if he's the only one around, he's much older. And they're always resigned to their fate. It's always depicted as an extremely difficult, suffering, sad situation. And I think a lot of us have always taken a little bit of an issue with that. We're like, why can't we see a happy situation, like this? And here you go. Here the characters are in their prime, and the movie explores, let's say, the dog way and the cat way to look at the situation. Also, society has been talking a lot lately about IVF and women having children on their own. But it was quite the change of pace to see a movie depicting men having children on their own. And so that made the movie very interesting as well. Now, can an adult enjoy Dogman purely as a form of entertainment, like just for fun, right? Or do you just have to suck it up if some kid wants to see this movie? Well, for me, the weirdness did keep it very engaging, and the quality of the animation helped. I mean, as I said, I saw it on a premium screen, and visually, even though the art style is this, from the books, it's very crude, the animation is not, and it has real depth and warmth, which I enjoyed. Also, the clever gags, adult gags sprinkled throughout the film, both jokes and also visual gags. It was very funny, including a lot of jokes about dogs and cats that even I, as a non-dog or cat owner, found very funny, and I got them. I was like, oh, that's great. That's hilarious. They had like a sequence, like what kind of stores would a cat go to? And I was like, oh, that's great. And the voice work, getting Pete Davidson to voice Petey, the world's most evilest cat, was a great idea. Wow, he not only brings a lot of energy to the role, but a lot of heart as well. He did a phenomenal job. He really, really makes this movie. Also, Lucas Hopkins, I hope I was able to find a picture of him. I was trying to find out what he looked like after I saw the movie, and I was like, are there no photos of this child actor? Does he not have a headshot? But he should. I hope he has a headshot. He's extremely talented. He's adorable as Lil Petey. He has just the right amount of precociousness, which is hard to do. And then Lil Ray Howery is the police chief, and Isla Fisher is reporter Sarah Hadoff, and they're the other main characters, and they also did a great job. And just when things started to get a little bit boring, there was a sequence in the film where the buildings came to life, you'll see, and they started to fight each other. And I might have dozed off just a little bit. But then Ricky Gervais popped into the movie, and he brought a lot of energy into the third act. I thought he did a great job. I was like, I can't believe they got Ricky Gervais to sign on for this. Also, Poppy Lou is a scene stealer as Petey's human assistant. She was really funny. Also worth mentioning, the film includes an updated opening for Dreamworks Animation, which has been updated with all their, let's say, recent films. And it's so charming. And if you're a fan of Dreamworks Animation, I think it will delight you. Even I was delighted to see how up to date it was. I thought it was really charming. And there's a Bad Guys short in front of the film to get you excited for the Bad Guys 2 hitting theaters this August. I liked this short a lot. This was very funny. I mean, I can never get enough Sam Rockwell. I love Sam Rockwell. But this was just great. It was funny. This, I thought Dogman was also funny, but this short had me laughing out loud several times. I thought they did a great job. So look, clearly Dogman is a movie for families, and I highly recommend it for families. Dogman is very empowering to kids, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. But if for some reason you find yourself as an adult watching Dogman, either because you're an animation fan or if you're bored, I think it's surprisingly engaging and it gives you a lot to think about, even as an adult. I think there are great lessons here for everyone if you're open to them, and I hope that you will be. So that's my review of Dogman, hitting theaters this weekend before it goes to digital and streaming eventually, where I think it will obviously do quite well. But I gotta tell you, they're selling a lot of tickets for Dogman this weekend. I've been checking out the sales. Some pretty full theaters, particularly in the afternoon. It could do pretty well in theaters as well. Are you going to see Dogman? I would love to hear. Some of you, when I said I was going to see the press screening, some of you already told me that someone in your family, is a big fan of Dogman, and you have some trepidation about going because it looks weird to you too. So I hope I've gotten you more excited to go, and I'd love to hear the circumstances under which you're going, family or by yourself. So share those thoughts down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.